Hey there, ShowCal community. Found a great tool online the other day. We've been putting in some pasture fence out at the farm, actually refencing some pasture, and I needed to know the perimeter of a particular area. I knew there had to be something out there in internet land that would give me the area and the perimeter if I just found it in terms of mapping it out. And luckily there was. I found it to be really easy to use, really handy, helped me get some of the project pieces done that I needed to do. So I thought I'd share with all of you, and hopefully you can use it for some of your projects. Let's go take a look. So here is the page that has that nice little tool on it. It's done by actually Draft Logic. And the way that this works is that if you go to the Draft Logic page, and I've put the actual link on the blog post at showcattlecommunity.com. Just search for the blog post that is Acreage Calculator. And if you click on the link there, it takes you to this page, and there's this button here that's called Load Map. And on that Load Map, you click on it, and it'll actually go ahead and load in a Google map. And also on the Google map, you have this find location. What I usually do is I'll type in the town that's closest to where I want to actually do the mapping. Sometimes if I put in an actual like rural address, it has sometimes a hard time finding it. Google Maps sometimes gets confused. I've had some false results when I've done that, and I've just found it easier to go ahead and put in a town that's close to where I am and then manually navigate to that particular place on the map. And I'll show you what I mean here in just a second. So in this find this location field, I'm going to go ahead and put Latimer, Iowa, and I'll go ahead and click search. And while it's searching, it's actually going to bring up just a picture of Latimer here in just a second. So here's Latimer, and I'm going to go ahead and just scroll over to the farm that I'm looking at, which is just a few miles east of Latimer. So it'll load up the page here in just a second. So here's the farm that I'm going to be actually working with. And the cool thing about this tool is once you have the location on the map that you're going to be working with, you have this little crosshairs from where your mouse is at. And you just start clicking on the map. And once you start clicking on the map, it puts these little marker points on the map. So if you click, there's the marker points, and you can just keep clicking, and you can see that it starts creating these spaces. And then you can just go ahead and grab these little points and drag the shape into the area that you want to find the perimeter of the area for. And so it's great because you're able to create a fairly customized area that doesn't have to be square. So if like this area came up here, I can take this down a little bit because I'm not going to put that in the pasture. So you can have fairly complex shapes, and it gives you a nice little visual of what that area would kind of look like, all shaded here in green. The other really cool thing about this tool, and the thing I really appreciate about it, is that as you're creating your custom shape, it's actually outputting the dimensions down here below. And so it'll give you the dimensions in square meters, in total number of acres, the total number of square feet, but then it also gives you some valuable information around perimeter. And so for me, that was very, very helpful because then I could take the perimeter and I could then go ahead and figure out how many fence posts I was going to need to buy for this particular section of pasture, how much feet of wire I was going to need to buy and implement. And so it made those calculations and planning for the project a lot easier. The other thing I really liked about this is that I actually printed this off from my browser as a PDF document, and then I could sit down and just make little notes on it as well. I'm saying like, okay, or on this area on the map, so like let's say I was talking about this area here, I can say that, yep, I'm going to need corner posts there, and I'm going to need a gate right here. And so I had this nice little printout that I can actually make little notations. So when I actually go to implement, I can drop things off, at the particular site where, I'm going to need gates here. I'm going to need, 3 corner posts here, all that type of good stuff. And so it made just planning of the mapped out this very easy. So hopefully you guys find some applications for this. You find it interesting. You can use it. Don't have to use it for pasture. You can use it for gardens, feed plots. You can even use it for figuring out how big your acreage is, or how big some of your fields are if you don't have a good accurate measurement. It's just a good, nice tool that's really easy to use. Hope you found this interesting, and we'll talk to you soon.